came to lock me in her bathroom and made the first move on me, not the other way around.
Did you have a sexual relationship with her?
Yes.
Did you think that because she was only 12 that it wasn't a good idea?
I mean, she was seeing boys older than me, so obviously, I mean, she knows what she was getting into. I didn't do nothing to her that she didn't want me to do. What they may call intimate, we wasn't intimate like that, not like a male and female is intimate.
Did you know that Melinda had made a death threat against her?
Mm-hmm.
She told you she was going to kill her, right?
Yes.
In 1991, Shanda Sharer was a bubbly 12-year-old attending Hazelwood Middle School in New Albany, Indiana. She was, by all accounts, a normal girl who made friends easily and had fun at school dances. But it was one such dance that set in motion a chain of events that would soon bring Shanda Sharer's life to a gruesome, torturous end at the hands of 4 teenage girls. Welcome back to True Stories. Join our family in exploring some of the most twisted true crime cases. As always, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. Now, let's get into it. Shanda Sharer met classmate Amanda Heavrin at Hazelwood in 1991, soon after moving to the area with her recently divorced mother from Kentucky. Sharer and Heavrin became fast friends and then romantic partners. In October of that year, the pair attended a school dance together. There, Sharer and Heavrin were confronted by 16-year-old Melinda Loveless, who had previously been dating Heavrin for more than a year and was now extremely jealous of this new pairing. Loveless then threatened Sharer in public and soon even talked about killing the 12-year-old. At this point, Sharer's mother transferred her to Our Lady of Perpetual Help Catholic School in order to protect her. Unfortunately, that did nothing to stop the horrific events that would soon unfold. On the cold winter night of January 10, 1992, Loveless enlisted 3 friends, Lori Tackett, 17, Hope Rippey, 15, and Tony Lawrence, 15, to help her take her revenge on Shanda Sharer. The foursome drove to where Sharer was spending the weekend with her father. The girls used the pretense that they were taking Sharer to see Heavrin as the excuse for their visit. Sharer told the girls to return after her parents were asleep, which they did. The girls then took Sharer into their car and told her they were going to drive her to the meeting place at the Witch's Castle, an isolated and abandoned house that served as a local teen hangout. In the back seat, Melinda Loveless was hiding under a blanket with a knife. The ringleader and jealous lover soon leapt out from under the blanket and threatened to slit Sharer's throat if she didn't confess to stealing Heavrin away from her. In tears and fearful for her life, Sharer tried to respond, but to no avail. Loveless then convinced the other girls to take Sharer to a remote location where there would be no one else around for miles. The 3 other girls assumed Loveless was simply going to scare Sharer into breaking up with Heavrin. For 7 hours, the 4 girls brutally tortured Shanda Sharer before ultimately killing her. First, they took Sharer to a remote trash dump near a logging road in a densely forested area. Loveless and Tackett stripped off Sharer's clothes and proceeded to punch her repeatedly. Loveless hit the victim's face with her knee until she bled profusely from her mouth. Meanwhile, Lawrence and Rippey stayed behind in Tackett's car. That torture wasn't enough to satiate the older girls. They then tried to slit Sharer's throat, but the knife was too dull. Instead, they stabbed her in the chest and strangled her with a rope before throwing her in the trunk of the car, thinking she was dead. They then went to Tackett's house to clean up and drink sodas before realizing that their victim, now screaming in the trunk, was still alive. Tackett proceeded to stab Sharer several more times before driving off once more with Loveless to beat and sodomize Sharer with a tire iron. When they returned to Tackett's house, she laughingly described what had just happened to Rippey. Finally, in the early morning hours, the torturers stopped at a gas station and bought a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, which they quickly emptied and refilled with gasoline. Again driving to a remote location, the girls hauled their still-alive victim, now only able to whimper mommy, out of the trunk, wrapped her in a blanket, and poured the gasoline on her. Then they lit Shanda Sharer on fire and drove off. Just to be sure their work was finished, Loveless had them return a few minutes later to pour some more gasoline on her, watch her writhe in agony, and finally confirm that she was dead. As the 4 girls ate breakfast at McDonald's just after the killing, the 4 girls laughed as they compared their sausage breakfast to Shanda Sharer's burnt corpse. Later that morning, 2 hunters found the body. That same day, the girls started talking. Loveless told Heavrin and another friend the whole story, but had them promise to keep their mouths shut. But, that night, Lawrence and Rippy went straight to the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office with their parents and spilled the whole story. By the next day, all 4 girls were in custody. All 4 girls were tried as adults and accepted plea bargains in order to avoid the death penalty. Lawrence and Rippy, younger, less involved in the torture, and more forthcoming with authorities, received lighter sentences, with Lawrence getting 20 years and Rippy getting 50, shortened to 35 on appeal. The former was released in 2000 after serving 9 years, while the latter served 14 and got out in 2006. Meanwhile, Tackett and Loveless both received 60-year sentences. Loveless, the one angry with Sharer and the ringleader behind the murder, naturally received a longer sentence than the 2 younger girls. While Tackett did have a hand in killing Shanda Sharer, she was released from prison in January 2018. We've come to the end, thank you for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. Till next time.